guys, welcome to Educating Shanny. I'm Shanny and I have an eating disorder. Hi Shanny, hi. So if you don't know who I am and you care to know who I am, I'm going to put in the link below a link to my intro video so that you can figure out who I am, what I'm doing, what all of this is all about. So yeah, so go check it out if you don't know who I am. So today was quite a day for me. I made it to church today, which was one of my goals, and that's awesome. By the way, I film on Sundays, so every Sunday I film, so it's actually Sunday for me, but it's Wednesday for you. So anyway, so I went to church on Sunday today, and the first hour was okay, but I had something scary happen to me. I was talking to a lady in my church, and we were having like really good, interesting conversation, and all of a sudden I started to feel super dizzy, and I thought to myself, Shannon, you need to sit down, you're gonna pass out. And then my other side was like, no, it's fine, you'll be fine. But I didn't listen, of course, because I'm stubborn, and the next thing I know, I was on the floor. I don't even remember what happened. I guess I passed out. I remember talking to her, and then all of a sudden I remember her moving the hair off of my face and telling me everything was going to be okay. And that used to happen to me a lot, but it's been a long time since that happened. That has happened. So it gave me a really big scare. I'm just going to be honest. Like, it was really scary. Not only was it embarrassing, of course, because, not a huge crowd, but a little crowd of people were around me, and it was just really embarrassing. But even more so than that, the more that I'm settling into this shock of what happened, the more I'm realizing that it actually scared me a lot. And that's not good. Like, I haven't had that scared of a feeling in quite a long time. So maybe it was another blessing in disguise. I don't know. Everything that's been happening the past few weeks seemed bad at first, and then they turned out to be a really good thing. So it definitely gave me a scare. Sandy, if you're out there watching, Sandy's the lady I was talking to. You are such a sweetheart, and you did not make me feel dumb or embarrassed or anything. You just were there with me to calm me down, and I would love to continue our conversation sometime. So I'm sorry that my passing out kind of interrupted the amazing conversation we were having. So Sandy, thank you. If you're watching, I love you, and we will talk more. Okay, so today we're going to talk a little bit about how you can help somebody with an eating disorder, what you can do to help them. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not any of those things. I'm just a person who's been struggling their whole life pretty much with an eating disorder. So I'm going to give you things that you can do or not do from an eating disordered folk. That's me. What's the word? Is it folk? Folk? Yeah, eating disorder people like me. But before I get into that, I just want to make something really clear. I want to make sure you know that it's not your responsibility to fix us. I know that you want to, but this is just as with any other addiction. If we don't choose that, it's not going to happen. There's nothing you can do. There's no amount of interventions you can do. There's no amount of trying to talk me into things that you think would be good for me. There's nothing you can do unless I decide to do it myself. And so with that being said, I would say the absolute top number one thing you can do for somebody with an eating disorder is to encourage them and to let them know that you believe in them and that you have faith in them, and that you know that they can find whatever it is inside of themselves that they need to find in order to get better. I have had people in the past tell me that they don't think I can do it on my own. I totally get that they are just concerned about me, and they have every right to be concerned about me. I have an eating disorder and I'm sick, and I get that, and I totally, don't blame them for that. However, we need to hear that we can find what we need for ourselves to get better. So for instance, I believe that the main thing that's going to get me better is my relationship with Jesus Christ and the gospel that I'm part of, the church that I'm part of, and the testimony that I have. And for me, I feel like that I need to hear from people, we believe that you can do this for yourself. Just, follow what the Spirit is telling you. Follow what you feel inside of your heart, instead of, we don't think you can do this on your own. You need to go to treatment. Because here's the thing, even if I did go to treatment, I'm not going to have treatment for the rest of my life. I'm not going to live in a treatment center for the rest of my life. And so I need to hear that I am able to find a way to get myself better on my own, because that will last longer. And that's why I'm doing these videos. This is my way. This is my way of reaching out for help and for finding something that will actually work for me. I'm seeing a huge difference. This morning, I would not have gotten up and gone to church had I not felt the pressure of knowing that I had made a goal last week to you people, to whoever's watching, to make it to church. I felt that little pressure. I felt that little push that I needed to get to church, and it made me feel really good. For me, this is really helping me so far. I know it's only been a week, and it's probably a little bit of that, newlywed giddiness, or what. How do you say that metaphor for what this is? Like I'm still new to this relationship of YouTube and people watching me. I cannot even tell you, people, my goodness, I am so overwhelmed with all of the wonderful comments and even more emails and more likes and subscribers. Like, where did that come from? People actually subscribe to me? That is so awesome. People are watching my videos. No one's saying mean comments or anything. Like, I'm just so grateful. This has been such an uplifting thing for me. So I'm going to keep going. Okay, so now let's get into what you can do to help somebody with an eating disorder. I really need some theme music for myself when I'm like introducing a new part of the video. Okay, so now you know that it's not your responsibility to fix this, okay? However, if you are looking to be proactive in a loved one's life who is struggling, I mean, obviously the best thing you can do always is to love them, support them, believe in them, pray for them, send good thoughts, whatever you do for them. But if you are looking to actually do something for them, these are a few tips that I came up with that I know have helped me in the past, and so maybe they will help your loved ones. And if you are one of my loved ones and you didn't know this, don't feel bad. That's why I'm doing these videos. So I'm going to tell you how you can help me. The biggest thing for me in the whole world, and this is so difficult for so many people, just because we live in a world where everybody is so focused on how they look and how much they weigh, or sometimes it's not even like that. Sometimes it's how high up in the company can I get, or how many friends can I have, or it's just, I feel like there's always that underlying competition. Why does there have to be such a competition to be the best or the thinnest or the happiest, or, well, the happiest, that's actually worth competing for. Not competing, but like finding. Anyway, so for me, like if I'm in a big room full of people and somebody in the room says something bad about themselves, if they body shame themselves, that triggers me big time. And they probably think that they're just trying to relate to me by saying, oh, I feel so fat today, or oh, I feel so ugly today. You might think you're trying to relate to me, which is nice of you. But it's actually doing the opposite. It's triggering me, because here's why. I feel like I am already like, Ed, my eating disorder, he messes with your mind big time. And he makes me feel like I am the fattest person on earth. I am the ugliest person on earth. I am the stupidest person on earth, all of that stuff. So if I'm in a room full of people and somebody else says, oh, I'm so fat, oh, I'm so ugly, I register that as, okay, well, I'm actually uglier and fatter than you, so that would make me like I see you as up here. So if you're calling yourself ugly and fat, I feel like I'm even lower. Like if you think you're that low, then I'm like, see, out of the screenshot, low. Like that's low. It just makes it kind of validates my eating disorder that that's even important. Like, don't make that the important topic of conversation. You're beautiful, and I'm trying to learn how to find that beauty within me. So again, it's not your fault if you're not doing this, and you don't even have to do this, but if you feel the need, if you're around me, I would ask that you don't body shame yourself at all. Don't shame yourself for your looks, your weight, anything like that. Just focus on what matters, really, because that's what I'm trying to find. And I'm sure that would help anybody out there struggling with an eating disorder. If you're out there watching and you're struggling, I think you probably know what I'm talking about. It's really difficult. Okay, so the next one is also something that everybody in my family does, and pretty much probably 99% of the world does. People don't know how to tell me that they're worried about me, and sometimes it comes out in a triggering way and they don't know that. So that's why I'm here to teach you that, to let you know. I think I mentioned in a different video that I have lost a lot of weight in the past year. Like, this is thin for me. I'm just a big girl no matter what, but I've had a lot of family members come up to me and they'll say, "Oh, you look so skinny. Oh, you look so sick. Oh, your waist is so tiny." You might think that you're trying to tell me that you're worried about me, or even that you're trying to tell the eating disorder that it's time to stop, but actually it does the opposite. If you say to me, if you tell me I look skinny, my eating disorder is, woohoo! If you're skinny, then it's working. Let's keep going. So it actually does the opposite. If you tell me I look sick, most of the time it does the same thing, because in my mind, or Ed's mind anyway, sick, I somehow categorize that with being thin or with being wasted or wayfish. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, so that's super important to remember, that you might think that you're telling us that you're just worried about us, but if you want to tell me that you're worried about me, then tell me that you're worried about me and leave it at that. Don't say, "I'm worried about you because you're so skinny. I'm worried about you because you look sick." Like, don't focus on my looks. Just simply say, "I'm worried about you. What can I do for you?" If you're doing that, if you're telling a loved one struggling that they look really thin and that they look really sick, that really is just a green light for us to keep on going, because obviously it's working. I mean, if you have an eating disorder, please don't get mad at me. That's the second eating disorder secret that I've given up, and I'm so sorry, but I'm not sorry at all. Okay, so the other important thing to remember is that our eating disorder is not us. If you want to fight our eating disorder, fight our eating disorder. Don't fight us. I refer to my eating disorder as ED. I'm sure you've heard me say that already, but I don't think I've explained why. Obviously, ED stands for eating disorder, but I have started identifying my eating disorder as a person. But I have to separate the two, because Ed is just a douchebag, and I really don't want to be. I don't want to combine Ed and Shanny as one person, because Shanny's a good person. Shanny has a good heart. She really does. But Ed is evil, and he comes from the devil, and I can't stand him, and I hate him. And if I were to categorize us into the same person, then I know that I would take my life, because I despise who he is so much. I'm sick of him being a douchebag every day of my life. It's like I have this little douchebag on my shoulder. Okay, I just actually pictured like a douche on your shoulder, and that, I guess that wouldn't work. Let's edit that one out. I don't want to pass out on you. Sorry, I tend to do that apparently. Basically, just do your best to support us and love us and encourage us. Don't focus on the negatives that we're going through, because we do that enough. We're such sensitive people that we take it and we put it on ourselves, any negative thing that you say. You know, when people come to me out of concern and say, you know, this eating disorder is getting in the way of your marriage. This eating disorder is causing you to not have children and to not have a job and to not ever leave the house. Like, I already know all of those things. I tell myself that constantly. Ed tells me that constantly. That's all I do, is beat myself up for it. Be uplifting. Make our conversations positive. If you know somebody's struggling, whoever they are, tell them you love them. Tell them that you're praying for them. If you pray, if you don't pray, tell them that you're sending them good thoughts and that you're thinking about them, and ask them what you can do to help them and things like that. We spend too much of our time hating ourselves, and we unfortunately get way too caught up in what Ed is telling us every day. And so just love us, just support us, and again, if you want to be proactive, just do those actions, those small little in fact, I'll tell you a really quick story. My cousin Caitlin, whom I love dearly, Caitlin, if you're watching, I love you. So last Christmas, 6 months ago, we were going to a family party with my cousins, and I hadn't seen them in a while. Caitlin is my cousin, and she was one of the first people I saw when I got there, and I hadn't seen them in a while. They hadn't seen me since I had lost a little bit of weight. And I remember this really caught my attention when she said this. The first thing she said was, "Oh, you look so skinny," but then she caught herself. And so she said, "Oh, you look so skinny." But not that that matters. That doesn't matter. You're beautiful. Like, she totally caught it, and that somehow caught my healthy side of my brain. It was like, at first when she was like, "Oh, you look so skinny," Ed was like, "Ah," and then she's like, "But that totally, not that that matters." Then the healthy side was like, "Whoa, that never clicks on. What was that?" So I don't know how she did it. I don't know how that worked. I think it's just because she recognized what I was going through. I know that she knows some of the stuff I was going through, and I really appreciate her making that effort to kind of take both of us in the situation out of the unhealthy thinking and into the healthy. And I love you, Caitlin. I appreciate that so much, so much. So just, if you're looking to help somebody, just be careful what you say around them. Again, it's not your fault. You don't know that you're triggering us, but now you do know if you're watching this. So try not to body shame yourself around people struggling, or around anybody. Nobody should even do that. Like, why are any of us even body shaming ourselves? Like, nobody. It's not just an eating disorder thing. Nobody should body shame themselves. Yeah. Encourage us, uplift us, focus on the positive, tell us you believe in us, tell us you know that we can do it. And then just love us, support us, pray for us, just be there. Thank you for oh shoot, we need to do my goal of the week. I already told you the first goal of the week, which was church, and I'll give myself a B because I made it halfway through, which would be a C, but really I feel like it was a B because it was a really great effort because I was not feeling well this morning. And plus I passed out, and that's super embarrassing, and so I get an extra grade for living through that. So terrible. Okay, so my other goals were that I was going to go from throwing up 2 to 3 times a night to only once a night. I was also going to keep at least 1 small meal down a day as opposed to nothing. And church. Was that the only 3? Yeah, I think that was it. I'm going to give myself a good solid B-. I had one stupid freaking night where I binged and purged twice. So I'm going to dock myself for that. However, I'm not going to give up. In the past, old Shanny would have been like, "Dude, Ed," oh shoot, I keep doing that. Stop doing that. I would have been like, "Ed, you were right. I couldn't do it. I messed up. I give in to you. Take me." But now I'm like, "Dude, Ed, screw you. Stay out. Like, I'm done with you. I'm going to try again. I'm done with your games. I'm done with you trying to get me to go into your world. And I don't want to be there anymore because you suck. Like, big time." So, but I did keep a small meal down every single day. In fact, there were a couple days where I kept like 2 or 3 meals down. If you have any other ideas for me to, that would help me slowly get back into the process of, for the first time getting into the process of eating like a normal human being, because I do not know what that feels like. If you have any tips that would help me that are healthy for me, and that would make me feel a little bit safer keeping down more food, please let me know in the comments. If you're not comfortable talking about your eating disorder in the comments, you can email me anytime, educatingshanny@gmail.com, and that's it. And I think it's all lowercase, but I don't even know if that matters. I'm seriously so challenged. How am I going to edit this video in 2 days? The last one took me like 4 days. How am I going to edit this one in 2 days? But I have to. I have people waiting to watch me. My life is so difficult. So I'm going to set the same goal again, because I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to fall into Ed's trap that I failed and I should give up. I failed because I missed 1 day or whatever. I'm going to try again, and I'm going to do it this week. I'm going to do it. If you want to give me any encouragement in the comments, please do. Oh my goodness, please do. That helps me so much. And you know what, you guys, subscribe to me not because I'm like looking to get the most subscribers on YouTube, but because the more subscribers I have, the further the word, is it further or far? It's further, right? Yeah. The further the word will be spread if you subscribe to me. And again, if you're a little bit slow like me and didn't know what the heck YouTube was before I started making these videos, all you have to do is push subscribe, the button, and you're subscribed to me. I was always hesitant to subscribing to people because I thought it meant you had to fill out all these forms or something. You don't have to. You just have to push a button and you're subscribed. So yeah, so the more you subscribe, the more people will want to watch my videos and learn and spread the word into the world so that we can start talking about it even more than we are. I'm tired. It's been a long day. I passed out today. Thank you for being here for me and for putting up with my silliness and my goofiness even when I'm talking about really difficult topics. But again, that's just my point. I want this to be lighthearted because I want people to feel comfortable talking about it. So I'm trying to make it comfortable to talk about. So let's just get comfortable. So thank you for watching today. You're beautiful. You're worth it. And I am too. Right? Yeah, I am. We all are. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye!